ABC 36 News starts now.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for News at Noon. I'm Doug High.
And I'm Lisa High.
Well, it has been officially confirmed this morning, John Calipari taking the role as head coach of Arkansas.
The Razorbacks posting on X this morning at 10 a.m. that the Calipari is officially the head coach of the team with the tagline, Cal those hogs.
Well, we've got full team coverage today from Lexington to Arkansas, and of course our sports director standing right here with us, Jeff Piccoro. Jeff, a lot of interest in a small Cessna 680 aircraft owned by Joe Craft. In fact, the #1 tracked aircraft in the world right now on Flight Radar 24.
That is absolutely amazing. Over 1,500 people tracked it to Georgetown Scott Airport.
Just landed.
Gave us a little.
Who could be on that aircraft?
Yeah, I wonder who. We have people standing by at the airport. We've got people in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Forrest Tucker is there. So he is awaiting the arrival of Coach Cal and everything that's going to be going on today out in Arkansas as well. But let me tell you just a little bit about who Scott Drew actually is. His father, Homer Drew, obviously a very renowned coach. He followed him to Valpo, was an assistant coach for him at Valparaiso. He stayed there one season before he took the Baylor job, and a lot of people thought, what are you doing going to Baylor? That was a bad job at the time, scandal-ridden, tough job. He turned it around in 4 seasons, and 10 of the next 13 years went to the NCAA tournament, winning the championship in 2021. He's a 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year. They say that the turnaround that he had there at Baylor, one of the greatest in the history of college basketball, because it was a mess when he got there. And in 4 short seasons, he turned it around. So he's done a heck of a job. Now, I know the name doesn't really turn the needle like somebody like Billy Donovan or somebody like that. But this is a solid coach. He's 53 years old. He's a little younger than Rick Pitino by 20 years. So you've got a guy here that Mitch Barnhart has known for a long time and believes in him and believes what he has done there. And I think if you give him time, fans of the Big Blue Nation out there, that this guy will be well respected and will bring Kentucky where you, as the fans, want it to be.
Well, Jeff, you're describing someone who sounds like a program builder, program rebuilder to us.
Yes, exactly.
So we're in the pocket here.
Yeah, I think it's a very good move. Now, Mitch has made 2 hires in the last couple of weeks that to me were home runs. Obviously, Kenny Brooks with the women's program, a giant hire there. He's already brought an All-American into the University of Kentucky next year and 3 other players he's bringing in size. I expect Drew to do the same thing. So I tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to head out to the airport, the private side, TAC Air, and the back side, where Jane Davenport is standing by. And it's going to be fun because she's been out there all morning waiting on a plane that now is landed in Georgetown. But you know what? That happens. They make U-turns, and they do that for a reason. I'm sure she's not the only one that's out there.
Well, we've all been tracking it for sure. And you're saying that the recruiting situation, I mean, that's on everybody's minds.
Huge.
Who is Cal taking with him? How do you see that playing out?
Well, I think it was very important because the portal closes on May 1st. So you wanted to get somebody in here immediately. And you don't know who Calipari is going to take with him, recruit-wise, who are coming in as freshmen, or the guys that are here now who will be able to transfer free and clear, which you're allowed to do now. So I think it was very important to bring them in. I'll tell you what, let's head out to the airport now where Jane Davenport is standing by. Jane?
Hey, you guys. Yeah, we were actually just talking to a UK fan who was parked here doing the same thing as we were, waiting for that plane to land. As you were saying, it's the most tracked flight right now, and it is no question why that is. So I've been at this airport. Well, unfortunately, we don't see any airplanes landing right now, but we do know that the plane that is flying here from Waco is owned by none other than UK booster Joe Craft. And so this news comes as UK looks for their next head men's basketball coach, and one of their prospects happens to be, as you were saying, Jeff, Scott Drew, who is Baylor's head men's basketball coach. So we will be keeping you guys updated as we receive new information. We do not know where this plane is headed yet exactly, but we do know it's coming to the Lexington area, and Forrest Tucker will have all the updates from you from Arkansas for John Calipari.
Thank you so much, James.
Thanks for that. Another point here, Jeff, on Scott Drew that just drew my eye. His salary, $2.7 million a year in Baylor.
That's what he made at Baylor. And again, you don't exactly know what he made. Baylor's a private institution, much like Vanderbilt is, so you don't have to release those types of things. That may be what he is getting from the outside sources, which here in Lexington is JMI. JMI pays the coaches. The university pays only $400,000 to the two coaches, Mark Stoops and Calipari. It was JMI that paid the rest of that, which is the lion's share of those contracts. And again, at a private school, they don't have to release those numbers. It is thought to be in that $2.7 million range. So I think he's going to get a significant pay hike when he comes here to Kentucky. And,
as you said yesterday, when Kentucky calls,
yes,
you're going to take that
exactly, call. Exactly. And I think the NIL till is much better here, too. So here's the way I look at it is this. If he could turn a program around the way he did in Waco, Texas, where I'm sure in the military you've probably been in that area. Yes. Texas is a huge state. There is nothing out in Waco. Now he's coming to a more cosmopolitan area and the bluest of blue bloods here at the University of Kentucky. If you could do it at Baylor, you could certainly do it here at the University of Kentucky with what he has at his disposal here.
And 3 times Big 12 Coach of the Year. That's certainly impressive.
And you know, with John Calipari now being announced as the head coach of Arkansas, fans down there are really excited as well. So this was really kind of, it sounds like a win-win scenario for everyone.
We talk about trades in sports all the time, and we are always, as sports people, looking who won the trade. When you trade a shortstop for a pitcher or a wide receiver for a quarterback, we always wonder who won. Well, this situation was a win-win for everybody. Arkansas got what they needed, a jolt in the arm by one of the biggest, most well-known coaches in all of college basketball, and John Calipari. Kentucky gets a win because they now have that $33 million pot of gold sitting there that they do not have to pay John Calipari now because he left on his own fruition. So that is key as well. So we have someone on the ground in Arkansas right now, and that is Forrest Tucker, who is standing by. A big day out in Fayetteville, a big day for all of Arkansas and Razorback Nation as John Calipari is there, and our guy Forrest Tucker is there too. Forrest, I know that town has got to be on its ear right now, isn't it?
Jeff, yes. Cal's expected here at about 1:30 this afternoon. University's confirmed that to me on this very tiny airstrip just south of Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's where Cal's going to come in here. They're going to pull him up to the small building here at Fayetteville Airport, Drake Field as they call it, and then he's going to get whisked away in an SUV to downtown Fayetteville, and he'll call the Hogs perhaps for the first time inside Bud Walton Arena at 6 o'clock when at Central Time his public announcement and introduction will take place, and 30 minutes later he'll have his first press conference as the Razorback head man. Now his contract is for 5 years. That's going to take him till 2029. It's a $7 million contract, but he gets $1 million more when he signs on the dotted line, whether he's done that already or he's going to do that later today. So that comes out to $8 million, and then he's going to get some bonuses along the way for postseason incentives. Now, in Lexington, he made $8.5 million. Numbers are pretty comparable here. What you all guys said about the jolt in the arm for Arkansas is very, very true. Coach Cal is that for them. If he can get back to his winning ways personally as a coach, then this program is only on the up and up, and he'll get that money if he makes those postseason appearances and everything. So the run of show again, 1:30. Cal's plane's going to touch down here. I'm told it's already in the Lexington area. He's going to get downtown in Fayetteville, and then we'll see him for the first time publicly later this evening. We'll have that coverage for you. Now we're working to find out what the NIL situation is here in Fayetteville for Coach Cal, because that's a huge draw these days. He enjoyed a lot of that, as Jeff said, at Kentucky, where it's a cosmopolitan vibe in Lexington, and there are a lot of sponsors and donors ready to give their money to the program. So we'll have to see what that looks like here at Arkansas. Now, two names that are very key to this are ones you're going to recognize if you're going to a grocery store. So one is Bud Walton, the man whose name is on the arena. He is a part of the family that founded Walmart. We all know that brand, right? And then Tyson. It's Tyson Chicken. So if you shop for chicken and you shop at Walmart, those are two of the big names that have their hands in the pot here at Arkansas and are honestly giving the university and the athletic department money as well. So both schools have really big donors and everything. We heard Joe Kraft's name on the jet, who's bringing Scott Drew apparently into Lexington. We're going to have to see how this develops. This is a big day in the college sports landscape. We're going to have to see what Cal says today about Kentucky, about Arkansas. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of all that later. We cannot wait to bring it to you. That's all from Fayetteville right now. We'll be back at 3 o'clock to bring you more about Coach Cal calling the Hogs.
Thank you so much, Forrest. Yeah, one note on that. He mentioned Walmart and Tyson Foods.
Yeah.
John Calipari has been a friend of Johnny Tyson for a long time. And what it's thought to be one of the incentives of going there, he makes a little bit less, but that pot, he is supposedly going to have $5 to $7 million a year in NIL money, significantly more than he had here at the University of Kentucky. So now you think transfers going in there, or kids that he can promise a heck of a lot to from that. So,
And after much speculation, Jeff, I think you put it best this morning in our morning sports report. Kind of shocking seeing Coach Cal wearing the red blazer,
I know,
right?
it was.
Yes. It's kind of like Rick Pitino when we first saw him. But I'll tell you what's going to be more shocking is next season, Arkansas comes to Lexington. Whoa.
Yes.
When he walks in from the other side of the arena in the visitors club or dressing room, that's going to be real interesting what that locker room, what the fans of Lexington are going to be like.
Jeff, thanks to you and the team for your insight on this.
Jeff.
Fantastic. Well, this leads us right into our ABC 36 poll question of the day, and we want to know if Scott Drew is named the new UK basketball coach, are you in support of this decision? You see the big question mark right beside right over the basketball there.
But you can vote right now at WTVQ.com/vote. We definitely want to hear from you, and we know you have a lot to say about this too.
QR code there at the bottom of your screen there, right by Lisa's laptop. And again, we want to mention that Cessna 680 that we tracked on Flight Radar 24, along with thousands of other people. It's the #1 tracked flight in the world right now. Landed in Georgetown. We were expecting it in Lexington, but landed close by, and certainly thinking that Scott Drew is on board, and we'll have more for you at 3 and in this broadcast as we continue. We're going to take a break, but we are back with more news at noon for you.
Keep it here.